What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the new 2023 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Big shout out and thank you to Randy Marion Automotive for providing this pre-owned TRD Pro for today's video. Take a look at their website, links down below. Now this one is finished off in Solar Octane, and original MSRP is around $73,000 for this truck. Underneath the hood of the all-new 2023 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, you're going to find the iForce Max. This is a 3.4 liter twin turbocharged 6-cylinder engine with a hybrid system. It's producing 437 horsepower with 583 pound-feet of torque and is paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Of course, this does have a 4-wheel drive 2-speed transfer case, and the overall curb weight is around 6,000 pounds. Running on a 32.2 gallon fuel tank, you can also expect 18 miles per gallon in the city with 20 out on the highway. The TRD Pro Tundra also has max towing capacity at 11,175 pounds and max payload capacity is 1,600 pounds. Overall length is 233.6 inches with wheelbase at 145.7. This truck does have the 5.5-foot bed, and then overall width is 81.6 and height is 78 inches. The TRD Pro also features a 1.1 inch lift kit. You're going to see 2.5 inch Fox internal bypass coilover shocks, and the approach angle is 26.2 degrees, ground clearance is 9 inches, and departure angle is 24.2 degrees. You're also going to see a ton of TRD goodies all around this truck. And now moving on to the exterior styling with this insanely bold and bright TRD Pro Tundra. All the black accents really contrast perfectly against that bright orange. We do get a set of LED headlights with LED daytime running lights. You can see the blacked out housing and a nice trim piece down below that with a functional air inlet. You get a lot of body color fading its way down to the lowermost part of this front bumper, and then right in the center you get all this satin black. There are parking sensors within the front. You get Tundra stamped into the plastic and a very cool pattern etched into the plastic material, kind of looking like a forged carbon fiber. We get LED lights down below and then a massive grille with huge openings to allow cooling to the engine. We have a safety sensor, forward-facing camera, and then an LED light underneath that old school Toyota. You can also see the amber lights up on top. Really cool grille surround finish in more body color, and the overall design is super bold. Really good looking truck overall. You can also see the hood with all these nice contours, very sharp lines going towards the windshield, and on the farthest sides we get this black plastic trim with the TRD Pro name. Has a really nice design to it, really adding to the aggressive look. The new TRD Pro is also going to get a set of forged BBS wheels with that TRD badge in the center, satin black color, and has a really cool multi-spoke design. We have an off-road tire, and then more of this cool textured plastic material for these fender flares. I love the style that adds. We get a very sharp body line on the front fender as well, really giving it that aggressive look. And I love how you're going to see that blacked out A pillar and B pillar just to black out all the windows. We get some black along the side mirrors with an LED turn signal along with a side view camera. And then you can see how the orange body color makes its way to the top for the roof. And then for the rear glass, you get a power sliding piece back here, all one piece. Massive third brake light up above that, along with a rear view camera. So it really comes together nicely. And being the shorter bed with the Crew Max style, has a very nice proportion all around. I think the Tundra comes together nicely. The rear bumper is all integrated into the bedside as well, which is a little bit of a different design element comparing it to other trucks. You also get a mud flap down below that, and a nice set of LED taillights. All integrated very nicely to the bedside, and you can see how they even match the shape of this new tailgate. We have TRD Pro stamped into the bed as well, and you can get your grab handle up on top with an LED light along with a camera. You get 3 red lights up above that, and then more of this cool plastic texture. The rear end really comes together nicely. You get more of that material on the rear bumper, parking sensors, all of your trailer hitch connections, and the plug itself. And overall, I think it comes together nicely. And then moving on to the key fob, we have your basic buttons on it and a Toyota badge, and then nothing on the back. Now when you keep the vehicle locked, you can see we do have a set of power folding side mirrors. Then all I have to do is grab the door handle, everything unlocks, they're gonna fold back out. And this spec gets the black Softex leather interior. Really cool design all around, as you can already see with a sneak peek. But if we make our way to the door panel finished off in black, we get really nice red stitching all along it. You can see your padded armrest right here with more stitching, pretty good sized grab handle, then all the window controls, mirror controls, lock and unlock. You can see the release handle, some cool texture, and then quite a lot of storage space. We get Tundra TRD Pro floor mats with a cool tire pattern, and then all of your power controls are on the left side of the seat. Then moving to the seat, you get more of that forged carbon type camo material, cool design in the perforated leather. Very nice, you don't see this on other vehicles. You get TRD Pro stitched up top with more stitching around the seat itself. Super cool looking seats. And then we get a very nice perforated leather steering wheel with TRD on one side, stitching on the airbag, and a nice red stripe up on top. And then now inside the TRD Pro Tundra, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and tap the TRD button. Cool animations will turn on as everything roars to life. And then we get a full LCD gauge cluster. You can see that massive tack in the center. We also have some hybrid information in the turbo boost gauge on the right side, and then a few more vitals all down below that. Moving to the steering wheel now, if you tap these icons right here, it'll come up on the screen for a lot of your different things of information. So I can scroll up and down through this menu, go to messages in the vehicle, all sorts of safety settings you're able to adjust and view. You also have more information for any trailer hitch stuff. You can scroll down and see all sorts of that, and then continue over to audio information, and then navigation will pop up as well. You have Bluetooth and audio controls, and then cruise control settings are all on the right side, windshield wipers on the far right stalk, and then headlight controls are on the left. Down below that, we can see controls for parking sensors, your fuel cap, along with the LED bars, and then heated steering wheel. You get some nice black along the side with a pretty large air vent, all black trim going across the dashboard, and we do get a little bit of center storage. On the far right now, we get that same old school Toyota written out on the dashboard, really nice contours as well. Then all of your air vents come together. Moving to the center infotainment screen, this is basically what you're going to see in a lot of the newer Toyotas. We have all your audio information, navigation system as well. This is a massive, massive screen. Very nice the way everything works. Phone integration, we have some trip information in it as well, history, current, vehicle alert if anything. Then you can go through a few different settings as well. Now if I go ahead and take the truck, put us into reverse, we're gonna get all sorts of cameras. We have that backup camera as well as a top-down view, and you can configure this left screen quite a lot, which is really good for off-roading. And then of course, if you have stuff in the bed, you have different guidelines as well, off-road cameras, so you can see our rear view as well as the side, pitch and roll meter on the bottom, along with just a few others. Going back into park now, underneath that, we have all of your climate control settings, heated and ventilated seating, your different zones, and I like how you can toggle all of these to adjust everything. We have the different temperatures, fan speed right in the center, then a few more controls. We get a plug on one side, your power on the left, then more toggles down below that. We have a shortcut for camera. When you just tap that, of course it'll pop up and we get that 360 view. So really nice the way everything is designed. We have more controls down below. We can get a locking differential, wireless phone charging, all sorts of storage and cup holders, brake hold as well as the parking brake, and I love the TRD shifter. Very nice with the leather and red. And then down below we have all of our four-wheel drive controls, drive mode as well. When you toggle this, you're going to see it pop up on the screen. We have a sport mode, normal, and then an eco mode. So eco mode, that hybrid system really does a good job, and you can drive in EV mode itself just a little bit. We have our crawl control, multi-terrain select, and then in the center we have more of this black material, all the stitching, nice armrest, and then you can open this up for a little bit extra space, slide that back, and you can get a little bit of access into here, and then there's a button right on this left side, and we have all sorts of more space. You can also see some cup holders back there, and then a pretty large glove box as you would expect. One last look at the interior. Awesome interior. This is really nicely done, especially just the TRD Pro accents. And then up on top, we get a massive panoramic sunroof. All of your controls are right here. Just pressing that, we're gonna get that sunshade to open up all the way and really let in the light to this cabin. And then of course that whole rear glass will also slide downwards. We have more buttons up on top. You even get a sunglass holder And then the rear view mirror has the LCD screen. So really cool to see all that. And then finishing up, massive set of sun visors. And then moving on to the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle and open it up, the door panel itself is finished off just like we saw up front. And in back, you still get all the same perforated leather with this cool camo forged carbon design. You can seat 3 people back here. And the center seat, you can pull this down for a nice armrest with cup holders. And then the base of these seats, they do lift up. However, being the hybrid, it's really just all the batteries under here, so you're really never going to do that. However, that does give you a little extra storage with those folded upwards. You can also pull this and then pull these seats down. They are going to fold down pretty flat. You can see the subwoofer for the JBL audio, and then a little bit of storage space on that left side. Up in front, we have storage on the back side of the seats, air vents along with some storage, and then 2 plugs down below, and a large all-weather floor mat. So then sitting in the back seat of the TRD Pro Tundra, this is a pretty large truck. I'm 5'11", I have plenty of headroom, and with the driver's seat set at my height, I have like a foot of knee room. These don't recline, however, they're actually at a really good angle to where I can see sitting back here for quite some time. Good armrests as well, and then so much glass. Of course, that whole window rolls down. You got that panoramic up on top. So it feels like a super open interior back here. Definitely a family-friendly pickup truck. And then moving on to the bed space, you of course can use the button on the key fob, the traditional button on the center of the tailgate. However, there's a button on the side right here you can press, and it's gonna automatically open up that tailgate. We do get a full spray and bed liner in here. You get some LED lights, all the different rails, and then some slots right here for different bed extenders and things like that. And we even get a power outlet on that far side. Tailgate itself doesn't really weigh much. You can easily with one hand lift it up and close it. All right guys, so we are setting off now in the Tundra. The hybrid power plant is fantastic. I love how when you watch the blue one on the far right, that's your electronic power from the motors. That basically fills in the flat spots down low that obviously a normal gas engine just can't do. And then the turbos kick in the top end. It works seamlessly, and this thing is powerful. It really packs a punch. Whether you're in eco mode or sport mode, this thing is pretty darn fast. Now, normal driving, this is so comfortable. In eco mode and everything, I mean, the suspension is fantastic. Obviously, this is built for off-roading, so it's a little bit on the soft side, so it can handle articulation and those off-road bumps. But when you are just cruising on the street, this is fantastic. You're up high, above all the traffic, huge windshield. You can see all those cool contours, those cool vent design pieces. I mean, this is a sweet place to be. All the mirrors and cameras do a great job letting me know what's going on behind me, and visibility, like any pickup truck, you don't have really any blind spots. Taking sharp turns, this thing is also pretty flat. I mean, you could do some Baja stuff in this truck. It actually is composed and handles really nicely. Steering is nice and light as well. And I like how the slow speed, that camera comes on just to really help you see around the truck. It is a big truck. I mean, you can totally tell, you know, this is a lot larger than a Tacoma. Everything is just a lot bigger if you're not used to this size of truck. But then slow speed, you can feel how the electric motor kind of gets you going in slow speed. The engine won't even kick on half the time. And then when you do want the engine and everything, these shifts are snappy in sport mode. I mean, this is actually kind of like something that would compete with a Raptor. I can honestly see this having that type of power plant. This is a cool truck, and I like how the drive modes make a big difference. The interior technology is also really good. I think the old Tundra was always an old truck. It never felt up to date. This just feels so good in here. Everything is easy to reach, easy to use, even though it's so large. You have all the technology. Man. And these seats are really, really comfortable. They support you well. I think they can accommodate all sorts of body types and everything. I mean, honestly, I don't think you can complain. It is a really pleasant place to be. And the engine sounds pretty good. It sounds like a V8 on the inside. Yeah, this is a smooth on-road truck with all the off-road capabilities. Really good place to be. All the storage, all the space. Can't complain at all. All right, so we are turning around to my perspective. I really like this truck. Now, we had the new Sequoia with the iForce Max for a week to really test out, and I just liked everything about it. A little bit big for my taste. You know, I don't really need a truck or an SUV that's this big. But, you know, for those of you who are needing a big utility truck that can tow a ton, fit people in it, haul a lot of stuff, I mean, obviously you need the size. They did it so well. Toyota really knocked it out of the park. The powertrain feels so good. The power is just so endless. When you dial it up, I mean, this thing moves. It is effortlessly getting up to speed. It sounds cool. Obviously, that's just the piped in sound through the speakers, but it is a cool truck to be in. I think the ergonomics work out well to where you can just relax and drive it, and it doesn't feel like an intimidating big truck. Maybe if you're not too used to a larger truck like this, these are easy to drive, and they're just so up to date. Interior's spot on. I sound like a fanboy. I don't really have major complaints. Only little complaint I've noticed with this and the Sequoia, the writing up here for all your climate control, it's not the brightest white font, and it's kind of hard to see. You have to kind of really focus on it, especially when your eyes are used to the brighter surroundings, and then you look down into a dark section with not the brightest font. I wish there was a little bit more contrast with the font there, just so you could read, that's fan speed, sync, temperature up, down. So it takes a little bit just knowing that. I think that's my only complaint. Insanely nitpicky, obviously, and you'll get used to it. You'll end up knowing where buttons are. But just normal driving, I don't have complaints. It's just comfortable in here. And I think the Ford Raptor F-150 is kind of the truck everyone thinks about, or the TRX, I guess, too, of like performance fun trucks. When you drive this with the hybrid system, while it's not a supercharged V8, this honestly I think is a better power plant than the EcoBoost, because you have the twin turbo power, but then the hybrid system, when you're just coasting, you give it a little bit of throttle. Right now, the blue for the max is on. The electric power is pushing the car, not the engine at all. So you can feel it seamlessly integrate from the engine to the electronics. When you just slowly throttle, you do that, get a little bit more gas, and then obviously the engine kicks in. So the way they've integrated the hybrid system, I think, is fantastic. I cannot wait to feel this engine in the new Tacoma, I'm sure the new 4Runner, with the 4-cylinder setup. But it is exciting how they're making a decently efficient, powerful big truck. So it's just got a good blend of everything. If you guys enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content. And then big shout out to Randy Marion Automotive. This is a pre-owned truck, actually, they have. It's got about 4,000 miles on it. So pretty cool to see this already on the used market. Great truck to pick up. I'll have them linked down below. But if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video.